Alright, what's up guys? It's Sam right here, and today I wanted to talk about a movie trilogy that I finally managed to watch around December, only because I kept forgetting to watch it, and I did watch the first movie of this trilogy, but that was around, well, I watched it last year around December, so it would have been around 4 years ago. I only watched through like I think 1/4 of it until I just completely stopped. Then I picked the movie back up about a few years later, and I managed to watch it around December. And the movie that I wanted to like talk about was the Maze Runner trilogy. Well, I'm not really sure if that's like the entire name of the trilogy, but or what? How do I exactly explain this? Okay, it's pretty much a trilogy where a group of people have to survive different obstacles, and they're trying to like find what's outside of the real world. Because not to like spoil a lot of things, but in the Maze Runner, that's the very first movie, right? There's about a group of people that are mostly just boys. They get sent up from some sort of like a laboratory or some shit. How do I explain it? I think it's like an elevator for like you bring packages up. So like from the ground floor up to whatever the highest floor is. They're pretty much bringing people in. No one knows why. That's what the first part of the movie is trying to explain about. The only thing you're given is that I think it was every 2 weeks or probably to a month, these people that are trapped in this forest like place, they get sent items that, well, they don't really know where it comes from. So one day our main character here named Thomas gets brought up to the place that I'm talking about, this weird place that they actually don't know where they actually are. But the thing is that there's a maze that is a, how do I exactly put this? Okay, there's a maze. When you get up to the elevator, you're greeted by a bunch of people. You're in like one of those box cages, and then one of the big things that you see is a maze. Well, that's part of the movies, because in the movie what they are trying to find out is what is beyond that maze, because most of the boys that have actually showed up at this like random place, they've been there for years, for months, for days. And the one thing I liked about this first trilogy, alright, because I'm trying to not spoil it, is that I really like how it's mysterious, because and nobody knows what's beyond the maze. They've been trying to get through the maze, but the only problem is that in the movie it's explained that I think every one day or every week the maze always changes. So instead of, if you have like, let's say 5 to 6 days, you know where it is from beginning to end. In the 7th day, it will just change, so there's no point. Or I think it was every 6. I might be wrong, but I think it was around shorter though. I'm just saying around every 6 days. I don't really remember because I watched it around December of last year. And dude, that's the one thing I liked about this movie. It was like mysterious. You wanted to know what was beyond the maze. The characters wanted to know what was beyond the maze, and like, with that's like the main mystery of this first movie. Oh, and something I forgot to mention is that in the movie, the characters actually don't know who they are at all. Their memories do like, return back to them within, let's say, around a few days, a week, possibly. There are some that actually get it in like one day, but it's really rare. So our main character is, Thomas. Well, that's just his name. He doesn't really have a last name. I'm not really sure why, but yeah, our main character is Thomas. He's actually like, I think, the second to the last character that actually gets caught up from the elevator, because after him, I believe there's one more person named Teresa, which is literally the only female that actually comes up through the elevator, and then after that, that's it. So just to like summarize the first part of the movie, The Maze Runner, all right, our main character Thomas actually becomes I think they call it a runner, something like that. In order to participate in it, I think you have to pass like a type of trial that they have in order for you to become a runner, because I think that's what they called in the movie. And spoiler alert, Thomas, is the main character, though. He actually solves what is on the maze and then actually goes through it with a few people, because there are some people that decided to stay behind. And that's what I really liked about the movie. The first part of the movie, it was like really mysterious. We wanted to know what was like beyond the maze. Dude, it had like this vibe, like this mystery. The maze, dude, they got some like weird stuff that seems like it came from the future, and it was just like crazy. And then that's the first part of the movie. They trying to get through the maze, which they do successfully get through with a few other people like Newt, Teresa, Gally sort of gets there, Miho gets there, Fry Pan and Chuck actually get there. And yeah, I think those were like the first 6 people that actually managed to make it through the maze, because the group that actually made it wasn't really that much. So then after you finish that story or that movie, they get sent to a facility that some guy brings with them. And then you move on to the second part of the movie, which is the Scorch Trials. Now, I just want to say this, bro. This second one and third movie, they're like, you really fucked it up hard. Whoever movie, bro. Like, how do I put it? You had that good mysteriousness vibe to the Maze Runner. And then the Scorch Trials was like such bullshit. Like, I watched through the entire thing. It was the literal most bullshit movie I ever watched. Because I believe in the Scorch Trials, after they get sent to the facility, they actually find out like why they were actually sent there. So, you know, the usual team, Thomas, Newt, Teresa, Gally, Miho, Fry Pan. Well, Chuck is RP, so spoiler, he dies in the first part of the movie. And well, in Scorch Trials, the main cast actually finds out exactly what happens to every other people that have survived the first trial, which is the maze. Because in Scorch Trials, you find out that there were multiple different groups that went through the exact same thing the main characters did, but they were put on different islands. And, you know, some of them had like multiple guys mixed with some girls. And then there's another group, but it was just mostly females by one guy. So that's what you find out, is that they weren't the only ones that were stuck in there. And in these Scorch Trials, the main characters actually find out exactly why they were sent there. So this is the part that I think they just got way too lucky. It's just plot armor at this point, because the chances of this is extraordinarily fucking way too low, and they got way too lucky for it. Okay, so in the Scorch Trials, they actually find out there's a sort of secret tribe that trying to save people called Right Arm. They're a type of people that are going around the world and saving people. The only problem is that it's extremely difficult to find them, only because they move around like either every day or like every 3 days to every week. And whenever they move around, they don't leave any hints on where they went. It's like they just completely vanished. And this is the part that's like such bullshit. Dude, the chances of that are like literally 1%. And to top it off, what they finally find on the outside in the Maze Runner, or leading to the Scorch Trials, they actually find out that like there's zombies that are, you know, outside of the world trying to eat people. The chances of Thomas and his friends finding the Right Arm, like I said, was just 2%. Bro, everything was literally plot armor. Because here's the thing. In the beginning of the movie for Scorch Trials, the Right Arm are said to be like legends or myths. So that just makes like your percentage of finding them lower than 3%. Because how do you even know they exist? I mean, it's just a myth. So the chances of him finding it is like literally 1%. It's so goddamn low. And guess what? Since he's the main character, him and his team managed to find him. Like, dude, this is the thing I hated about the Scorch Trial, dude. They just got way too damn lucky. That was it. It was just luck. Like, that's what the entirety of the second movie of the trilogy was. They just got luck, because, bro, your chances were way too damn low. Plus, to make it even worse, you don't even know if they 100% exist, because there's no trace of them, because they're always moving every 1 day to probably a week, and it's impossible to, like, find them. You just got lucky, bro. That's it. That's literally it. It's just plot armor. That's what Scorch Trial is. It's just plot armor. And then, bro, dude, oh my god, it's kind of hard for me to find some words to like say because of how bad the other 2 movies is after Maze Runner. And then, bro, Death Cure, oh my fucking god, dude. You thought Scorch Trials couldn't get any worse? Death Cure makes it way more worse than what Scorch Trials had. Because, okay, to sum it up, this is going to be a huge spoiler, alright? If you haven't seen it, just huge spoiler. Just want to say that. In Death Cure, what happens, if I remember correctly, is that Thomas and his friends, they try to go back to where they were on Scorch Trials, but it was a different place. How do I put it? it was, they find this giant facility that's like in the shape of like multiple fucking circles, and their job is to try to like get into the giant circle, which is sort of like a domain where it has multiple giant circles inside of each other, and then there are like different buildings inside each of the circles. That's literally what Death Cure is. They're trying to like get into the buildings and try to save them. And bro, okay, this is the spoiler part I was talking about in movie 3. This, oh my fucking god, this was like the worst possible outcome, because they literally had the answer. Because throughout Scorch Trials and Death Cures, you find out that the outside world, it got hit with some sort of a solar flare, which killed an extremely large amount of people. Not only that, it turned some of them into zombies, because that's literally what they are. But in the movie, they call them something completely different. And this is the part that I was getting to on Death Cure. On Death Cure, a huge spoiler is that you find out that the main character, his blood can literally save the fucking world. Not only that, his blood could also save one of his friends that got turned into a zombie. But guess what happens? The main character, I don't understand this, okay? The main character, Thomas, destroys the fucking building where they could literally get his blood and then replicate it to save everyone that's turned into zombies. Or, you know, fight off the infections by giving it to people that haven't been infected yet. Dude, I was like, are we serious right now? Bro, you could have saved the fucking world, but instead, you didn't want to team up with some scientists, even though they may have sort of tortured you. Because here's the other spoiler. I think around second movie or third movie, you find out that one of the reasons why those people in the first movie, the Maze Runner, why they were chosen to be part of that forest with a giant maze in front of them, is for a type of experiment to try to get a type of cure to see what makes it tick, you know, experiment on how some of these people are actually immune to the disease that came out through, I think it was like a solar flare, if I remember correctly. There's a sun exploded, or sort of, or like it kind of exploded, but it caused like a disease to fall from the sky. So you find out that the reason why they were there is because they were test subjects to see who could actually survive the trials, and to see who actually develops the cure. Because the scientists, they think that the only way to get the cure is to throw a group of people into the maze and then have like their stress level like heightened out to like the max, force them to go through the maze itself to see if like a cure could appear from all the stress after they went through the maze. Okay, it's a bunch of scientific stuff, and only to find out one person actually has it, which is the main character. But the main character was like, nope, you killed all my friends, you're evil and whatnot. And he destroys the fucking place that could have just saved the world. And then for the end of the movie on Death Cure, bro, they're just on a remote island. Like, dude, it is the most stupidest fucking thing ever. You had the answer, but then you ditched it away just because the scientists did test experiments on your friends and tried to kill you-ish. I mean, you should have seen how the world was. It wasn't that great. But seriously, dude, you literally could have saved your friends, but you were like, yeah, nah, I don't want to do that. It is fucking stupid. Like, I just don't have I don't have like the fucking words for this, dude. Because seriously, the only good one was Maze Runner, only because Scorch Trials was literally fucking plot armor. They could have died any time throughout the desert. They could have also been dehydrated. They could have been bombed, you know, killed by anything out there. But they magically fucking survive through sheer plot armor alone. And then only for Death Cure to say, oh, we actually had the cure, but, you know, I don't want to give my DNA to you because you destroyed my friends and whatnot. Because here's the thing, if I had to give these 3 movies a rating of 1 out of 10, I'd say Maze Runner is an 8 to 9 at best. Scorch Trials a 3 to 4. Okay, I'm just gonna give Scorch Trial 3 to 4, and then Death Cure is literally like 2 to 3 ish. around there, only because they had the solution, but main character was like, yeah, nah, fuck this shit. Dude, oh my god. That's the thing. I wish they would change about the movie itself, is that if they should have like made the second and third movie similar to Maze Runner, where you could have Maze Runner as the first movie, then the second movie they have to go through a second trial, and then the third movie they go through the final trial, and at the end, you know, they get their freedom. They find out what's like on the other side of the trial that they've been going through, instead of what the fuck like they threw at us in the movies. So yeah. Oh, and something I did want to mention about this. These movies were based off of the books. So there's about 6 books, and they only made 3 movies. So if the other 3 books were never turned into movies, then, you know, you pretty much know why. The 2 movies were fucking bad. So yeah, that's mostly all I wanted to say for this video, because I wanted to do like a review of the Maze Runner trilogy without having to like spoil so many stuff. And also, it just, oh god, wasn't that great. But you could watch it if you want to, you know, if you're interested. You could just go to your Netflix or Apple TV or Fandango. So yeah. Do I recommend these 3 movies to anyone? To be honest, I would probably recommend the first movie, and probably that's it. But then they would probably get curious as to what happens to get out the Maze Runner, because the second movie connects that. Then they're gonna find out how shitty it is, and then they're just gonna say like, oh, might as well just finish the entire 3 movie because you already finished 2 of them. So then they're just gonna watch the third movie. Also, I did see online that like a lot of people agreed with me as well. The first movie is great. The second and third movie is just really bad. Like, most people have read the book, and I think they say like the book was better than the movie. I'm not really so sure. So yeah, if you really want to, you know, watch this, you can watch it. Just know that the second and third movie is just garbage. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say for this video. I didn't really have that much to say about the 3 trilogies. That was just about it, because I tried to like lower the spoilers for this. I didn't want to spoil it too much. So yeah, see you guys next time. Later.